These spelling lessons are produced for non-profit purposes out of love for Jesus Christ. We're going to do a quick review of syllables. At the end in a consonant, they're short, and at the end of a vowel, they're long. Try the next ones here. At, it, ought, ut, it. Tay, tea, tie, toe, to, tie. And try these tricky syllables. Look at them here for a bit and then try them without the markings. K, si, si, ko, ku, si. Ske, si, si, sko, sku, si. We're going to go back to some consonant pairs to show how these work with past tense. D and T are pronounced with the same position of the mouth. D is voiced and T is unvoiced. ED can either be pronounced ed or da or ta. First, we'll look at ED as ed. This happens when it follows a D or a T. Here are some words that end in D or T, and the ED will be pronounced as another syllable, ed. For words that end in other letters, it'll just be pronounced da, and there will not be an extra syllable. In some words, the past tense ed is just pronounced ta, again, not another syllable. In a few words, this ta is just spelled as a T, like felt and kept. The A sound of words can be spelled with an A, like in these words, ma, pa, and ha. AH is also pronounced ah. It usually occurs in foreign words like these, ah and mahjong. This sound of ah is pronounced the same by some people, like me, but in some parts of the country it will be pronounced slightly different. For example, Southerners will pronounce it almost as two syllables. Here are a few examples of words with this ah sound. WA words usually have this ah sound, like water. And here are a few more words also with this same ah sound. Again, I pronounce it the same, but you may pronounce them slightly differently. Because words in English will not end in a U, it will be spelled with an AU within the word and an AW at the end, although AW can also be within the word. Spell two ah words, raw and cause. He got a raw deal and he didn't even know the cause. Raw, cause. Here they are, AU within the word and AW at the end. Here's the syllable division rule. Words will divide between words. Words that make compound words divide up this way. Try dividing up these two compound words. You divide between the two words. Seesaw, withdrawn. The long sound of double O, oo. It's usually spelled O-O, but O-U can sometimes be spelled this way, although it is not its main sound. Its main sound is ow. And O, its main sound is usually O or ah, but it can occasionally say oo. Spell tooth and gloom. You may have some tooth gloom if you don't brush your teeth. Tooth, gloom. Here they are, both spelled the main way to spell long oo. French words and a few others can also have OU as oo, and a few exceptions O as oo. The short sound of double O is This is the normal way it is made, with two double O's, but it can also be made with OU or a single U. Spell shook and wood. He shook a piece of wood. Shook, wood. Here they are, the main spelling of the short oo sound, double O. This is a less common spelling of short double O, However, could, would, should, put, and push are all pretty common words, so you do need to know how to spell them, even if it's the less common way to spell Spell bush. If you don't water your bush, it will die. Bush. Here it is, bush, another common word. OU's main sound is ow. Remember, we just looked at its less common sound of and oo. It will be spelled OU within the word and OW either within or at the end. Spell down, spout, and wow. The water went down that spout so fast I said wow. Down, spout, wow. OU within the word as in spout, and OW has to be at the end as in wow. That one could not be OU. But down is spelled with an OW. It could also have a possibility of OU, but that's not the way it was spelled. The OI sound is normally spelled OI within the word and OY at the end. Spell point and enjoy. I make it a point to enjoy myself. Point, enjoy. OI within the word and OY at the end. OY can also be at the end of a single word that's made into a compound word, like in joyful. R and L are tricky consonants. They are what is called linguistically complex. As Margaret Bishop in the ABCs and All Their Tricks says on page 49, the consonants L and R are so heavily voiced in English that problems result, especially when these consonant sounds follow a vowel sound. These words here, they're not distorted. However, we'll look at some later with both R and L words where they are. In these words, with their long vowel sounds, they're just normal. Fire, wire, peer, cure. Many short words with ER, IR, and UR say When W is followed by an OR, it will not make its normal sound of or, but it will say EAR can also say AR normally makes the sound R, like in these words, R. And OR normally makes the sound of or, like in these words, or. Sometimes it will have a silent E, but that does not change the sound. It'll still say or. Long A plus R makes air. AIR and A followed by an R followed by a silent E we'll say air. E-A-R can also say air, and words that have an A-R-Y at the end, or just an A-R near the end of a word, can say air, like in secretary or comparatively. Long E plus R makes a sound ear. We show it with an IR because ER normally says It's often spelled EER or ERE, ear. These are some ways you can spell this sound of ear. EAR can also be pronounced ear, and while the letters IR in short words is usually pronounced IR in longer words is usually pronounced ear. OR and AR at the end of words will usually have the sound of and of course ER at the end of words will have its normal sound of R often blends with other consonants or consonant teams like ch. This does not change how it interacts with the sound of the vowel. It will have the normal sound that it would have if it was not combined with a consonant after it. Now we're going to start looking at L words. L's, like R's, are linguistically complex and heavily voiced, and they will alter the sound of the vowel before it. However, even some not L's and R's can alter the sound of the vowel, and syllables are the only true sounds of how things happen. G slightly alters the sound, but in syllables the sounds will stay the same. Ag, egg, ig, og, ug. See how this sounds slightly different than the normal short vowel sounds. Listening to the exact sounds that words and syllables make and knowing how they sound in syllables will help you be able to sound them out and spell them better. With one L, A will have its normal short sound, slightly modified but not too bad. With two L's or an AUL, it will have its ah sound, like in all, ball, paul. ELL and ILL will have their normal short sounds, not too much modified. L, ill. Spell tell and fill. I often tell him to fill up his water. Here they are. Note that they are doubled. L's usually double at the end of one-syllable words. OLL can have two different sounds. The all sound, like ball, doll, or the long ol sound, roll, pole. Spell holly and toll. Putting up holly on our tall shelves took a toll on our arms. Holly, toll. The first has the ah sound like in ball, hall, and the second long o sound. When short U is followed by an L, it will say ol, like in bowl or hole. Spell full. The bucket was full. 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 Also, note the doubling of L in this word and those before it. F, L, and S are usually doubled at the end of one-syllable short vowel words. Now we're going to look at silent letters. In English, many silent letters often appear as teams. This is because these letters used to say two different sounds but now have one. KN at the beginning of the word always has a N sound, and MB is usually at the end of a word and just has an sound. and WR, the beginning of the word, just has the R sound. GN can either be at the beginning or at the end or within the word, and it just has an N sound. RH is at the beginning, just has a R sound. And GH can be at the beginning or the middle, and it just has a G sound. A few silent letters just occur as single letters, H at the beginning or B within a word. The first three are all letter teams with one silent, PS as S, T as T, and PN as N. The last two words have a silent T. This often happens in words with an F or an S. Spell knife and written. The knife had the company who made it written on the side. Knife, written. The silent letter teams KN and WR are very common and will occur at the beginning of some common English words. Native English words will not end in a J. Words ending in a J sound will either be spelled GE or DGE. If a short vowel has another consonant before the J sound, you don't need to add anything, just a GE. Also, long vowels will be spelled GE. However, a short vowel sound followed by a J, you have to add a D because you need two consonants to keep the vowel sound short. You cannot just double the G because this would produce a G sound. Spell sludge and fringe. They want to keep the yucky sludge on the fringe of their town. To keep the U short, the consonant D is added. In fringe, you don't need to add a D because the N is a consonant that helps keep the vowel short, the two consonants, short vowel. Spell cage. The lion at the zoo was in a cage. Cage. Here it is. The E acts twice, wants to keep the A long and wants to keep the G with its soft J sound. You don't need a D because if you added in a D, that would make it short. That would make it catch. When R's are involved, one letter makes even a bigger difference than normal. When spelling and reading, you need to pay careful attention to each and every letter and spell or sound things out from left to right. Read these. Trot, tort. Go. Breeches, birches. Go. Bran, barn. Go. From, form, foam. Go. Coach, couch. Using these nonsense words, we're going to review our syllable division rules. Divide these and sound them out. All three divide between two words. They also divide between two consonants. In the third, the double L is counted as a single consonant. You divide between that and the T. Cool paw, coin haul, sell toy. Divide these and sound them out. All three divide between words. The bottom two also divide between blends. Silent W in WR, silent G in GN. Right shrill, corn fall, gnat stand. Go. The top and bottom ones divide between words. The middle divides between two consonants. Actually, all three do as well. Not barn, full, sir turn. All the vowel sounds we've covered will be underlined. Also, R and L controlled vowels will be underlined. Silent letters will be both underlined and in blue. The light blue part will be silent and the dark blue part will be sounded. Single letters that are silent will just be light blue. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths, that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. Behold also the ships, which though they be so great, and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beasts, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine, figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality, and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace.